If you want to thrive in further education, you have to be in possession of the correct set of tools. Mostly this means buying the recommended textbooks, owning a decent laptop, having plenty of notepads to take into lectures. Sometimes the tools required are more specific. For example, I happen to be walking through a certain student's workspace when I spot a pair of wind-up false teeth. The comedy kind, much favored by agents of anarchy such as Dennis the Menace and the Bash Street Kids. The teeth haven't been sneaked into the room for a giggle. They're a vital part of the learning process. Though what's being learned here is how to be windswept and interesting. I'm on a tour of Glasgow School of Art, a place that is best described as a botanic garden for the hothousing of bohemian types. If there's a box lying around some place, these guys want to think outside of it. On a matter of principle. In that context, the chattering plastic teeth make a lot of sense. They are art. Or are waiting to become art. When your uninspired layman spots a cheap and tacky toy from a joke shop, he thinks to himself, "Oh, look. A cheap and tacky toy from a joke shop." But when an artist spots that self-same trinket, he or she starts to count the possibilities. And there are many. Those rattling teeth become a metaphor for the Richter screen of our dying society. Or perhaps they are tragically symbolic of the fake, plastic, disposable lives we are all forced to endure under the yoke of 21st century capitalism. Capitalism always gets a good kicking from our artist buddies. So the plastic teeth are not just plastic teeth. They are a textbook, a laptop and a bunch of notepads, all rolled into one. Get creative. It isn't only the set of joke shop chompers that prove to be out of the ordinary on my tour of the art school. There's also some sort of metal, car-like machine that has been welded together from what seems to be rusty fragments of scrap iron. Elsewhere, a student has hung up a painted sign on which is scrawled the statement, "My world's on fire. How about yours?" Painted images paper the walls. Some are pretty striking. In the same way that a fist in the eye is pretty striking to the eye in question, one image is a close-up view of flayed flesh. The kind of thing I imagine Hannibal Lecter might sketch in his spare time, in between snacking on human hot pot. There's plenty more way out and wacky work on display. Which is all to the good, as far as I'm concerned. If you can't breach boundaries and tickle taboos when you're a young, ambitious artist, when else can you do so? I actually feel very privileged to be strolling through the open minds of some seriously creative students. To grab a ringside seat as they blossom into badass. The Glasgow School of Art has a legendary alumni, after all. Robbie Coltrane, Muriel Gray, Fran Healy. For more on this story, visit the news article link.